The hardest part about leaving the Mormon Church wasn't losing my faith, it was becoming the black sheep in my own family and knowing how severely I was disappointing them by making this choice. After leaving the church, I actually felt personally much happier than I had ever been, but my personal relationships with my family were changed in really fundamental ways. I remember initially feeling torn because I knew that I could keep silent and just keep the peace, but I knew that I couldn't be at peace with myself if I wasn't just honest with them. I felt like I had to be honest, and it'd be easier to live with being a disappointment than to live life as a lie. And really, my whole childhood was completely filled with the church, and so in many ways, turning my back on the church felt like turning my back on my family. And I think this is a very common feeling in any high-demand religion. And I think, unfortunately, for anyone who's experienced something like leaving the Mormon church, you know that you are truly just never going to be the same in your family's eyes. You're never going to be that perfect Mormon girl that your parents dreamed of. No matter what you accomplish, no matter how many lives you change, no matter what you do, even within the home or professionally, you're always going to be less than what you would have been if you had stayed in the church. I feel so grateful that I still have my family in my life, but I do honestly feel more frustrated than ever at the church. The church is the reason I wasn't allowed to see my siblings' weddings. They could easily change that rule. And all these many other rules that they have that keep members and non-members apart. As a faithful member of the church, the messaging was that I was elect, I was chosen, I was righteous, I was endowed with power upon high. But now as an ex-member, church leaders say that you're fallen, you're a lazy learner, you're an apostate, and all of these things really just widen the chasm between members and ex-members. And I think that that's why leaving the church was so heartbreaking for me, is that even though I knew I was making the right choice and I was proud to make it, I knew that there were ways in which I would change in the eyes of my loved ones that I could never make up for.